I felt like singing the song On the Road Again. Because, like, here we go again. Or we could do White Snake. Here I go again on my own. Because I'm always the only one here. For the lady that said I wiggle around too much, I'm sorry. I'm excitable. You know what? I probably shouldn't have those back there. Just a minute. I didn't really realize. As much as I wiggle around, probably shouldn't do that. This lady who was watching told me I wiggle around too much, and I can't help it. I am like a 3-year-old sometimes. It's a lot of energy and a lot of information, so I will work harder on sitting still. I'm sure even when I watch it back, I'm like, man, you're kind of all over the place. So, point taken. But I'm not going to not be myself either because I have to move about. That's how they do little kids at school. They're like, no, sit still, sit in rows, sit in circles, do this. And everything that we're asked, to do goes against our nature, which, is start small from the womb to the tomb. They want to suffocate that little soul and take away the imagination station. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm here, you guys, tonight to tell you something very, very important that was told to me last night. I don't know. I know that a lot of you who find this channel, you come across looking for, Prince information, what the egg is about. And I am going to tell you very clearly this evening. It has to do with the 369 equation, pi. 369 is pi in the gematria, which I will explain all that momentarily. And like my intro says, I promise that when you leave, your mouth is going to be open and you're going to have your own thoughts. You should probably grab a piece of paper, and a pen so that you can make your notes so that you and your family can look at it, because what I'm saying is really, really, really important. The tree of life, you guys, has very much to do with the egg. That's what you see back there, whether it's perfect or not. A lot of you might not know what that is. The only reason that I really know what it is because in 2013, because, in 93, I started studying different, religions and things. But in 2013, it started to come to me, Kabbalah and those studies. And it was what made sense to me was the reincarnation and the life. And what it does is I want to tell you whatever Wikipedia this is. It says, just so you know, save you the time from looking it up. According to the tradition of mystical Judaism known as Kabbalah, the tree of life is not a literal tree, but a symbol that is used to understand the nature of God and his relationship to the created world. It is also seen as reflecting man, who is microcosm of the divine creation, which would give us the Vitruvian man. Now, I've shown some of you guys this before. Those smears, hold on, let me see if they come off. Sorry. My cat must have been jumping on it. I think that's exactly what it is, sitting on the table, little butt faces. Sorry about that. You guys are familiar with this. It's what his circumference and pi represents, and I've shown this before, this lovely, very heavy duty. I'm trying to be careful with it. Let me hold it up to light. You see what it does when you can see through it? It's very, very beautiful. And actually, check it out. It appears to say Leonardo da Vinci. Probably weighs about 4 or 5 pounds, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to picture it with a bag of sugar. It's at least as heavy as a bag of sugar. I dropped it on my toe last year, and miraculously it just healed. Anyway, you guys, the egg. Thank you for coming. The tree of life, what you see back here, and I'm not going to keep referring to it with my hand like a weather woman. I have it written down in front of me because those divine trees, give information, and it's the reason the Da Vinci information is written in upside down backwards writing. It's mirror, it's like a code, it's coding, and the creator has allowed me to see it, though not always perfectly, and that's the only reason that you sense my hesitation. But tonight I don't hesitate on anything I'm saying. This is like the answer, it's the plan, it's the egg, and I'm going to tell you why. With this, now, if you go look up the Tree of Life, it's going to show you some different drawings and things, and you'll see something similar to this. You'll probably see a lot of different ones. But what I started doing, because I didn't know what it was either, but when I was discovering it, I would take the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, through 12. Okay, that's what you see there. But also, what you see is those numbers written backwards. Okay, in here. So last night it just came to me to write the numbers backwards because of the way that I see and have been shown to see everything. I'm sure the creator told me to do it. I don't know. I forget to say that sometimes. So I wrote the 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and everything backwards. Now, I have this written down, and I'm going to explain it to you in a way that you can really, really see. Before I do, because I want to get you excited about the end answer here, so you stick around to watch it all. I know some people can say, what the heck does mathematics have to do with Prince Rogers Nelson? What does it have to do with God? It has everything to do with everything. It's the way he created, and it's the way that the music is created. It teaches a certain flow, and it was explained to me in my life after life. So it's all very true, just because the world found a way to bury it and hide this information. It's why, as we've discussed, the sages hid in caves and wrote on scrolls and, things like that. Not to say as I've read those or whatever, but I'm just saying that's why they did that, because this information is precious, and we are all very, very, very privileged beyond, like, I don't even know. Sometimes I have to tell you, it's so big. I couldn't sleep with myself at night if I went and didn't tell this information. It's so big. You guys know that this year, I'm just going to say Prince, because Prince Rogers Nelson gets kind of long, but if I'm going to say Prince Kirk, then we'll go there. But Prince would be 63 this year, right, you guys? Right. Think about it. Think about the word egg. I'm going to get you there, I promise. Has everything to do with the 369. But until then, we spoke, like I said, in my life after life, we spoke, soul to soul, as it were. And now when we speak telepathy style, and it's soul hearing. It just is. I hear with my soul. We're attached with the soul. We're like one soul. So this stuff is real and true, and from my heart to yours, and from your creator to you, to help you understand that the plan, which if you go and listen to the plan, it's on Emancipation. When I would listen to that all through the years, it always made me feel two things. One was something very sad, but very freeing. Every time I would listen to that, I was like, how every song will take somebody somewhere else, if you have a certain memory of doing something at a certain time. But no matter the place or time or wherever, the plan comes on, and it's you have to let me know what it does for you. It was very sad, but very freeing at the same time. So this is the plan, you guys. And then that's probably why I just answered my own question. So anyway, I'm sure some of you are probably wishing I would cut to the chase, and maybe eventually, since my videos are long, I will learn how to use those little minute calculators at the bottom. And I think I have my volume turned down a little bit, so I'll try to speak up just in case. It was pretty awful when I first started doing these videos. I did a couple of them on silent. It was like, whoa. Anyway, man, it's a push. It's like when I come here to give this information, I have it written down. It's coming, but it's like being in labor. It's like a push, probably because my oldest daughter, who is working on my 9th grandchild, working on it. She's about to be born any time. Interesting tidbit, even that we're sitting here talking about the 369, the egg, because I have 3 daughters and an 18-year-old son. But of the 3 daughters, they've given birth and will give birth shortly, like I said, to the ninth grandchild. And so they came in sets of 3, 6, 9, like that. Especially this time, one of them was born in oh golly, you guys are going to test me, June, and then another one in December, and now this ninth one is going to be born here in January. So, and then the other 6, the set came in 3, and then 6, and then there's 9. So let there be 3, 6, 9, and yay, go DNA, pride, family, like whoa. Anyway, thank you, Hashem, because man, to have a walk and talk and breathing blessed family, no matter your trials and tribulations, no matter your fights, your backstabs, your imagined backstabs, all of it, man, reach out to your family, let them know you love them, because you only get one. And you know where the line is crossed, and you know where it's not. So some people say, but I can't, my mom, you don't know. No, I don't know. But when it's the right thing to do, you know, and when it's not, it's not. But you got to listen to the inner voice. It's training. Anyway, you never know. So, you guys, when you look at the tree of life, it teaches about the, I guess for lack of a better word, there's these fancy Hebrew words, which I don't really know all that well, and I don't want to misuse, but the personality traits of the creator. If you do this in a different way, not numbers, but with the personality traits, they also represent the ancestors like Joseph and Isaac, and just different. So one would be at one, and they go, so they represent different things. But for the sake of this and the way it was disclosed to me and the way that it relates to Prince, we're going to talk about the egg and with it as numbers, which relate because it's all Kabbalistic. So you can see that the numbers look a little funny. They don't just look like normal, but for instance, the 6, is written backwards, as is the 9, but because they're 6s and 9s, they don't really look that way. You have to really look at it. See, this is written backwards, so don't let it fool you. I'm playing with my straw because my coffee's over there. Now, the other thing that you'll notice is what the heck is this in the 3 position? It looks like a G. Okay, what that is, you guys, is that's how the timekeepers, the gatekeepers, those liars that were entrusted to do certain things, the Masons, you know how they use the big G for the 33rd degree symbol? It's because the G is actually, because let me backtrack. This one's done in numbers, but if you did it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so forth, or Aleph, Bet, Gimel, which is the 3rd letter of the alphabet, Gimel, it starts with a G, G-I-M-M-E-L. So they cheat, and what they do, they take and use the G for the 33rd degree Mason symbol, and then it also, because all the other ones are backwards numbers, but they keep the G right there, and then they use the 6 and the 9, which automatically spells egg. Now, I'm going to break this down for you in a way that there's nothing to dispute by the time this conversation is over. The number 18 is spelled 6 times within this Tree of Life gematria, and I'm going to spell that out for you and show you as well. And you're going to understand that this is Prince's 63rd birthday year, and that the breakdown started when he signed the contract with Warner Brothers December 31st of 2012 at 11:57 with 3 minutes to spare. Because won't you give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps, mister, give me 3 steps toward the door. One of my favorite songs. 3 steps, you guys, 3. We're going to get there. Anyway, I want to break it down to you the way that I wrote it down. So please feel free to grab a pen and a paper. It's super duper important. Okay, just want to make sure I was in the right spot. Sorry. Now, I'm going to try to refrain from pointing at the board with my straw. However, even if you guys don't see the numbers the way that I do, trust and believe that's what they are. So within this top triangle, okay, you have, I'll try to help you out, 9, 4, and this reads as a 5 because it's an upside down 2, okay? So it just does. 4 plus 9 plus 5 equal 18. Okay. Now, down here in the center triangle, we have 5, which is actually written backwards, but the way I'm looking at it, it still looks like a regular 5. 5, 7, 6. So 5, 7 plus 6 also equal 18. On the bottom, the way it works when it's written backwards is this 10 becomes a 1, okay, because the 0 doesn't count. And so 8 plus 9 plus 1 equal 18. Okay. What's the significance of 18, you guys? It equals 666. Okay. Or life. When somebody gets life in prison, you get 18 years. Or when your kid turns 18, cut them loose. 18. But it also represents 666. So that's the significance of the 18 for 1. Anyway, so top we have 18, middle we have 18, bottom we have 18. Okay, that's 3 times that there's 18 spelled within the tree of life there. Now, this one's a little wonky. You guys have to follow along. Here we have the 7 in the middle, okay, and the 4. 7 plus 4 is 11, okay, but 7 plus 11 is 18. And that's the way it works when you're going up and down and sideways and back and forth, because it's just the way it works, okay? So that's the 4th time you have 18. 7, 4 is 11. 7 and 11 is 18. Or you got me open like 7-11. It's just, it's how they do. Like I said, everything goes back, all the 7-Eleven stores, the nursery rhymes, all of it, but I'll stay on track here. So those are the 4 that are within the tree that are, a little bit harder to find. But over here on the side, because this backwards 2 reads as a backwards upside down 5 in gematria, you have 5 plus 5 plus 8, which equals 18. Okay, that's 666, right? Now over here, you obviously have 666 the way that they do it, and that obviously equals 18. So within the tree of life, it's 18 6 times, okay? And when you times 18 times 6, you get 108, which if you remove the 0 is also 18. So there's 7 18s, okay? So there's that, you guys. Now, this is super important still. Also within the center of the tree here, I call it the obelisk. It totals 36, which is the opposite of 63, which is the opposite of his 63rd birthday. So how? Because 7 plus 4 plus 1 equals 12. Okay. 11 plus 1, because the 0 doesn't count and they do it backwards. So 11 plus 1 equals 12. And then this 12 at the bottom that's written backwards as a 21 is 12. So within that, you have 12, 12, 12, which equals 36. Okay. Opposite of 63, which is his birthday this year. Now, I know his birthday is June 7th, 1958. We'll make him 63 this year, which is why, when he's saying love to the nines, that's why we have 319, because 3 times 19 is actually 57, which is 12. 1999, love to the nines. It all goes together, you guys. But more than that, also within the 369 and the egg, I've disclosed this sort of before, but it's also Bob when you do it the other way of just 6s. Then you have Bob George, because 3 plus 6 is 9. So that also gives us the 369, because it's the evil Bob George. Okay, I'm not done yet. Now, what's interesting is, how they always say that the alien, the area 51 is 51. Well, when you take 1, okay, because again, the 10 would be a 1, 1 plus 11. Well, first of all, I got to read it the way I wrote it. So I'll get back to that in just a second. 1 plus 11 plus 21 actually equals 33. So that's built in 2, which is the 33rd degree masonry. So again, I know I got off track right there. So 1 plus 11 plus 21 equals 33. But if you do the 21 the other way, it's actually a 51. Whereas this bottom 21 becomes a 51 plus 11 plus 1 is 63. So what's interesting is, 3 times 7 is 21. Okay. And 21 times 3 is also 63. Okay. So this is the third temple type situation that we're talking about here. It's that I took some notes here. Sometimes I forget what I did at night. It says this is what it said. He told me this was going to be the third attempt, like third temple depth stuff, correcting all the mistakes, getting all the sparks. Fleetwood Mac, secondhand news. Been down one time. That song. Yeah. Never going back again. Because he's done this before. He's been used before in this way and it didn't work. And this is going to be the final time because we're going to be able to explain it right before the other powers would try to make these things happen. And then we would all just be left unawares because they thought that this knowledge was going to go away with him. But he gave it to us, to me to give to you guys. So the thing is, I trust and believe that it'll start to make sense to your hearts and souls when you hear it, because you can't, it's like by the song, The Undisputed Truth. You know what I mean? You can't dispute the truth. Listen, it's why Alphabet Street was saying the song Revelation. You know what I mean? It's why I called it Electric Word Life. It's at the end of the song Revelation, the English glamour casting spells, that it's the language breakdown. It's what it is. It's why he's saying Alphabet Street, you guys. And yes, they want us to believe the elevator brought him down. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I wrote, some notes. And then I said, let's say the contract started at 11:57 on 12/31/12, which I've done my research on breakdown. This is truly important. So as I told you guys before in the discussions with Kirk and Phaedra Farrow and all those people, and Howard Kornfeld and his son and all of those players, government, Big Brother, all of them on down. Yes. I want you to take a look at something, please. In 2013, he signed the contract 12/31/12. Okay. Now, if they began the breakdown, when they began the breakdown in earnest in 2013, you add 3 years to 2013. What do you get? 2016. So 2013 plus 3 years is 2016. 2016 plus 6 years is 2022, which is where we are now. Okay. Bob, George, you guys, it's the 369 egg plan. You get it? So 2013, then they started the breakdown, took him to the hospital, did all the phone jabber situations that I've talked about. 2016, there's the death. Okay. Add 6 years. And now we're in 2022. Okay. That totals 9. Okay. Actually, and I'm just looking at it now, is 22 plus 9 would be 31, which is the opposite of love. And if the number 13 was such a bad luck number, it all comes back to the same thing. So it's the 369 or 63 plan. You guys, I've told you before, and I know it's not show and tell, but it's very important that you understand the depth and the truth in this, because whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And they are going to say that, it's why the Bible says that it's thieves in the temple. You know what I mean? It's why that they say that the devil or whoever, whatever they say, comes in dressed as light. It's because our creator, the one the world knew as Prince Rogers Nelson, is the light, and there's going to be someone disguising themselves as that light. It's this whole Antichrist holographic, whatever they're going to do. I don't really know. Hopefully they'll have a harder time pulling it off with all this information and knowledge, tree of life knowledge that's being dropped on them. Hopefully I'm doing it right and serving it justice, and hopefully you guys can understand. But I want you to understand something else too, if you could please. That even though I've told you before, in the spring of 2020, I had stuff like this happening. So I didn't know this kind of stuff. It's from the creator, from him packaged up, put into my brain like I'm Lucy, the movie Lucy, and you just be programming it up in there like you do on the Matrix. Just stick it in there. But back then, in the spring of 2020, it looked more like this. I took the word breakdown and all the different ways and the different words, New Year's Eve, pool, fool, breakdown, from the song. And all those, like, I didn't know what was happening, but I was trying to count it out and figure it out. Okay, I'll show you a couple things. Things like this would happen. You can see breakdown. I was doing very simple, basic gematria or something. I mean, I thought I was trying to figure out why I kept hearing the breakdown, why I made the post on 421 that said it's not the flu, it's the breakdown, more to come. Basically, because in a sort of way that I didn't really realize, and it's because I could always hear from him. It just gets stronger and stronger the more I tell you guys, and the more, because knowledge is meant to be shared, and the powers that be try to keep it to themselves and switch it all around because they don't want us as DNA brothers and sisters and all children of the creator they want us to believe that old man Johnson 316 was the only one that carried that DNA when the creator created us all. Well, how could that be? Oh, I know, because Jesus didn't have any kids, because he never had a wife. You better read about Mary. Okay. I'm just saying, if you were prone to believing that, it's all a twist on the truth, but I'm just saying there is lineage, and why wouldn't they hide it? Why wouldn't the bloodlines hide it? Too late. It's been exposed. I'm trying to be brave. I'm not trying to be cocky. Look, I want to show you a couple more things. This, I know it looks like scribble scrabble, and it is, but what I was doing was in the spring of 2020, I was taking the word breakdown. Look, here's one that you can see clearly. New Year's Eve, fool, memories, you know what I mean? I was literally writing the words and trying to figure out why the song was so redundant. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. The melody, why it was so humdrum and the same. And because I knew from listening to the music my whole life that by being quite the opposite of all the other music, that it was literally telling us a message. And so by doing the scribble scrabble, that's what I was trying to figure out, what the message was. And so I went to do things like this, and this one's pretty important too, you guys. It's pretty cool. I'll show you in a better way. I was doing things like this. Now, take a look right here. It says 12/31/2012, which was when the contract was re-signed with Warner Brothers. And in the middle, it says 11:57 p.m. And then it says 4/18/2014, which was when the album Artificial Age was released. So what I was doing even way back in the spring of 2020 was sorry about that glare, and I added those, even though they're not lined up right. This is what the hand does, because remember, I'm a tool. It added up the numbers and came up with this calculation of 16.6976. And then right under that, I rounded it up in some sort of way and made it June 7th. So that's really important, because every single thing, even though I didn't know when I was doing it back then, the reason I was doing that like that is because from reading the Bible in the past, I knew that it said that that the sacrifice of, again, I don't do scripture, that the awful things would happen in the world, that there would be war, and that for the 3.5 years, which I calculated it to be 1,260 days or something like that. So I was doing all those calculations because, again, as I told you, the music and the Bible always went hand in hand. And that's why I was trying to figure out how the music was telling me biblically what it was telling me. And now here we are doing this. So you can see, that huge growth spurt. Yay. Also, you guys, I wanted to say something. And it goes on and on and on, you guys, to looking more like this, which I showed you the other day, but in case you didn't see it, see these dates over here? I'll explain to you what they are, but do you see the date of June 22nd, 2013 here in the middle? June 22nd, 2013. Do you see how the twos all look like sixes? Please get that through your mind. In the gematria, the 2s and the 6s, remember how I told you in pi, the 4, 6, and 9s are the same? Well, the 2s and the 6s can look the same in this as well. So I'm going to get you there in a minute, but you know the song June, pasta simmers on the stove in June? Yeah, well, June is going to give us the date of 6/22/222. Take out the 0, okay? So it will be June 22nd, 2022. Now take out the zeros. It will be 6/22, which will appear as 6, so 666, and then the 222 for the 2022 will also appear as 666. So you have 36 going that way and 36 going that way, which is 36 or what? 63, Prince's 63rd birthday this year. So, given all those facts, you can understand why it would be very important to understand the dates I was writing down here. And that is that the contract that was signed with Warner Brothers and reinstating all those rights so that Pharaoh, the red-handed Pharaoh, could come in and, file those articles of incorporation and do all that stuff that she does over there. This was a plan. And you saw the 369, the 2013 to 2016, Bob George. It's all there, you guys. On yesterday's video, I wanted to say too, because a lot of times I go back and I'm like, man, you forgot something that was right in front of your face, because it's not just me. It's given to me and I don't always see it, and that was that yesterday when I was looking and calculating the 13, 18, and I was telling you how they're the same. And that was that 13 plus 8 equals 21 also, which again is the 21, the jackpot, the 777, the 1776 Declaration of Independence being taken away as the 1777, which spells out the name of King David, is brought in and ushered in. So it's all part of the plan. Pardon me. My roommates are the sweetest, and sometimes Isaiah, they keep me in coffees because, like I said, I don't go out a whole lot. I wish I did. I wish I had somewhere to go, but yeah, we'll get there. I want to show you guys something. You ask why? Because it's the sacrifice of Victor. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you again how how the prince's birthday as well as the death date break down to 666 in opioid, if you're interested in seeing it again. If not, I've said the piece that you need to think about. If these words that are coming out of my mouth from the Creator to me, to you, to the best of my ability, man, if they don't light you on fire to get on the boat, what are these new inspirations rushing all through my vein? You guys should recognize what I'm saying, because it's part of you deep down in your soul. It's why you get deja vus. It's why you see your grandfather or your son in your other son's newborn eyes. It is the biggest lie is to make our souls feel not worthy. Like you have only this one life, YOLO, and, just be about yourself. And, it's not that way, you guys. You're accountable for every little single thing. And it's a beautiful thing, actually, because once everybody does start taking accountability, you don't have to be perfect. I'm so imperfect, I can't even tell you. I try really hard, though. Like I said, I just always do my best. If you're not doing your best, what are you doing? I mean, some people can say, oh, you don't understand. My life is hard. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. No matter if it's hard or not, you can still do your best, especially when you realize that your Creator does love you and that you can talk to Him and that He is your best friend. And, Charlie Brown, they want us to go listen to Lucy. You know what I'm saying? She put the thing out and listens. I'll listen. You guys have questions. You know what I was thinking today? When I was a kid, I read everything. Like, my dad would read the paper, and then I would read some of it, and I would read like Helpful Heloise and the Ann Landers columns. Those were like my favorites. I'm full of tidbits. I would read very bad investigative private detective magazines at my grandma's when I was a child. Like any and everything that had to do with words and filling my mind with anything that wasn't the outside world, that to me, besides the times I was in nature, appeared pretty ugly, due to my dysfunctional home and this and that. And so anyway, another reason why this stuff is disclosed to me, because of my capacity, because of who I am, because of my willingness to come here and teach it to you guys, even though that, man, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. But if I get it right, then what? Then you guys will all get to know that your creator is your best friend and he wants to love you. But you got to love him back and you got to recognize who he is. How can he be what he is without you recognizing? If not, you see me, I disintegrate. If you're not being true to yourself and who you are, and with your prayers, and to your friends, and to your family, and to your job, how can you be true to your creator? And this time is coming, you guys. He just wants your truth. You don't have to be anything other than what you are. You were created special in and of yourself, and it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, when I stood in heaven, I didn't know, you guys, that I'd be walking around telling people God is Prince, but he's saying it in Love Sexy. Love is God. God is love. Over and over and over again. You guys watch the concerts. There was a program implemented to steal the money. Think about how much he's worth, pardon me. Why do you think that he's saying Paisley Park is in your heart? He didn't say it's on Chanhassen or Audubon Boulevard. No, he said it's in your heart. Let it be in your heart. Let it be in your soul. All right, you guys, you got to look. You got to see what I'm saying is true. And that's why the mystery of the egg, and that's all there is to it. And to the people out there that think that this is a theory, trust and believe that even you, if your soul is willing, will see the truth, that it's not a theory, that it's fact. It's the truth. And the Lord loves the truth, don't you? In goes the truth, out comes the lies. Google how many times he sings about truth. Google how many times he sings about goodness if you don't know the lyrics. I'll do a special on the lyrics pretty soon. With this being given to me last night, I knew what a big gift it was. And I know that you guys can do something with it. I know what it'll mean to your hearts to know that the numbers don't lie, that facts don't lie. It's there. I told it to you. It's not a theory, although I appreciate the offer. The Creator chose to work with me because of my bloodline, because of the DNA residual effect from my ancestors that I carry within my soul that led me from the time I was a child. And I fought for my life, I guess, when I was in that naval hospital when I was less than 1 year old, and I either died and came back or what have you. I was told in my life after life situation that I was there for these reasons. And like I said, it's my life, and welcome to it. Hopefully it helped you. Share this video with everyone because that's really all I have for now, you guys. It's really all I have for now. It's the sacrifice of Victor. These are the Hebrew letters and numbers I've showed you before, but you can see how the Hebrew shape of this letter, it's like a V, Victor. It's the sacrifice of Victor, the plan. All the gematria is there. Show you guys something real quick and then I'll let you loose. The bell will ring for the classroom indoctrination of the truth. Here, oops, wrong one. I want to show you something first. 6/7/1958. I showed this very, very early on. 6 plus 7 is 13. 1 plus 9. Okay, see all the gematria? Okay, is 10. It broke it all down. The 1331, which is love in Hebrew. Okay. All the gematria within the birth date breaks down in certain ways, you guys, that I can't really get all into right now. Too much glare, and my cat is annoyingly meowing at the door. But the death date here, 4/21/16, you can see that 4 plus 2 is 6, 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 6, or excuse me, 2 plus 1 plus 1, 6 in the middle, and then 6. And it spells out opioid, and we went through this before, and the glare is pretty awful. But you guys here, I want you to remember something before I'm going to, I sit down and I do these drawings. They're shown to me in different ways. And I just want to show you this again. Okay. Let this stick in your mind. 2013, the breakdown started in 2013 after that contract was signed with 3 minutes or 3 seconds to spare. Okay. 369, Bob George. It's the plan. It's the breakdown. It's the egg. And it hasn't happened yet, but when it does, you guys are going to recognize it. So what you do with this information from here, I'm not sure, but I will tell you this. I had the wool pulled over my eyes too, you guys, in 2016, after I cried and cried, and something kept telling me, all these things that I would hear, that he wasn't quite dead, or I could still hear from him, or something didn't feel finished, or just something about it, because everybody knows how wrong it felt, and how just wrong. Shoot, I forgot what I was saying. I started hearing the cats again. I'll just leave you with the importance of the information. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But on the Area 51 thing that I was saying earlier, I was giggling because I too am 51. I just turned 51 in December. So I was saying that I'm Area 51, and I'm part of this, you guys, and it's my sole purpose. And I'm grateful that you come to listen. You got to do something with this information. You got to share it with all the people. Share it. Love it. Do something with it. Talk to your creator. See what he wants you to do. See if you don't hear back from him. You know what I'm saying? Help him to work some miracles, you guys. That's what I'm trying to do. Working some miracles here. Night.